So can you tell me your first and last name?
First and last name is Jadidia Shabatt.
Okay, nice to meet you. So how you been?
I'm good.
You good? You
Good.
happy? So can you tell me what kind of position you have? What are you doing right now?
Right now, I am a company driver for Brite Logistics.
Brite Logistics.
And my home terminal is Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, where do you live?
I live in Delaware.
In Delaware?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Can you tell me about more what you did before? Working before, you know, how much experience do you have?
Before Brite, my career started off a while back in 2014. I started off with Swift Transportation. I went to school with them. I worked for Swift for about 9 months. It might have been like one of the worst companies I ever worked for. I went 9 months with them. I then signed on to their lease purchase program. Another terrible mistake. My whole career at Swift was about a year and a half. I then left Swift to go to another company called Pasco Truck Lines, which was out of Murray, Kentucky. Pasco Truck Lines lasted about maybe 2 weeks. It was another horrible company to work for. I was an owner-operator. I worked 2 weeks and my first check was $600 after 2 weeks. Then I went home. I had to figure out what I was going to do. So I started doing a lot of research. And everywhere I looked, I just kept on hearing Brite, go to Brite, go to Brite, go to Brite. I wasn't too sure about Brite because I didn't know. And I had two companies to choose from. It was Raoul Truck Lines or Brite Transportation out of Chicago. It was a hard decision, but probably the best one I ever made. I just went with Brite and got there. The orientation was pretty easy, a day. I was in a truck the next morning and on the road getting ready to make money. When you first get here, it's gonna be a little different, scary. You ain't gonna know what to expect, how it's gonna go. The pay is really good. They got a really good pay for drivers. With only 1 year experience, right now in the market, most drivers is making 35 to 42 cents. Here at Brite, you're gonna make a whole lot more than that cents per mile starting off. But basically, my Brite, I started off working for Brite. I was company for 11 months, and it was the best company I've ever worked for. And online, you'll see a lot of testimonials from drivers who tell you this about a company, that about a company. And you know, you could take my word for it or not, but I've been to a lot of companies and bouncing around from this place to that place, to this company, to that company. You gotta deal with this driver leader or this person. They'll talk to you. You know how driver leaders go. They talk to you any type of way. They look down on you. You're just a number. But here at Brite, it's like a small, close-knit family. The people you call to help you, they're gonna do just that, try to help you. After my first 9 months with Brite, which was really good, I had a driver leader named Monica. She's probably she is the best driver leader I've ever had as a driver. After 9 months, I decided to upgrade and go owner-operator with Brite Logistics. I went and I leased a truck through Arrow Truck Sales. After leasing the truck through Arrow Truck Sales, I ran for about 3 months with Brite before my truck went down. It needed a real major repair. Repair was about $11,000. I didn't want to pay for it out of my pocket because it was just too much money. I didn't want to pay for it at all. I talked to a couple other people inside the office at Brite, Matt, Manny, the guy from maintenance, Alex, a couple people. And they even offered to pay for my repairs and for me to reimburse them back monthly, which was a good thing because most companies would never do that for an owner-operator, let alone $11,000. Even though I declined the offer because I just felt as though it was too much money to pay, they still offered to pay for it. Today, I'm here back returning to Brite. I'm going to be going into truck running company. And I already know what to expect. I'm going to get a lot of miles. The pay will be good. The home time is great. You know, you go out there, you run for 2 weeks, you go home for a few days. Brite won't call you and harass you to come back to work and stuff. Periodically, maybe a week and a half after you go on break, they might ask you when you're coming back, but you're not obligated to run any loads, no forced dispatch. Here, you got the freedom as an owner-operator even when you company. And when it's like no difference from when I was company to the time I turned owner-operator. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed was I was responsible for fuel and stuff, but as far as like the whole company aspect of it, nothing changed. They don't treat you different. They treat you the same. Everything will be the same. You got any questions for me?
You're amazing, man. You think so nice. Like I just want to ask, and you're already answering my question. I love it. I love it. Give me
Yeah.
man. Good job, good job. Yeah, of course I have some questions. So what, you're not thinking to back to business like the owner operator? Maybe would you like to save up some $8,000-$10,000 and buy some truck from the Brite logistic fleet, you know, get some truck, get a payment like $1,500, $2,000 and make a gross like $7,000-$8,000, pay that payments, you know, and then try again, man. Like
Yeah,
this is the business, you know, you have to try until you got
No,
it, you know?
I've been an owner operator 3 times.
Oh, wow, you need to try more, man. I mean,
I've been an owner operator 3 times.
what happened? What's the problem?
I think my biggest mistake was not putting enough money away for maintenance.
For maintenance. Oh,
That
not
was-
putting enough, and then you got bankruptcy, right? You're making a lot of money, you're spending them, and then
You're spinning. Like, you know, I go home because I'm on the road and I'm on the road a lot. So
thank you for being
I don't
honest.
really,
Thank you
yeah.
for being honestly, because that's the thing. You're doing already business, and that's the thing. You always have to have some, you know, money for something if something happen, right? So just in case, and you know, you just balling, and then
Balling, yeah.
that's what happened, you know.
That's exactly what happened, and I should have got a truck through Brite. The only reason why I went to Arrow Truck Sales is because I was in a rush. At the time, Brite was waiting for new trucks to come in for lease. It was only going to be a few days, but I was just so in a rush. I just jetted down to Arrow Truck Sales, got the truck, and it was probably another bad decision I made. And I've been owner operator 3 times. I'm only 27 years old. This won't be my last time being an owner operator. One day, I plan on owning a Brite. It won't be called Brite. It'll probably be called Shabatt and Sons Trucking or something like that. But one day, this is what I want to have. And you know, the trucking business is, you know, it's up and down. You never know how it's gonna go. If you be more prepared, that's what I was, and I wasn't prepared. When you got lease purchase is a whole lot different from owner operator. With lease purchase, those companies will pay for any repair you need. They'll basically hold your hand and walk you through it. When you go and get your own truck, you running your own business. It's not really a bunch of handholding. If you call Brite, they'll advise you on what to do, tell you what to do, give you different strategies. They know how to make it because they're doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, when you company, man, it's like it's up and downs when you company, it's up and downs when you own an operator. Every company is not going to be the best company for you. My experience at Brite might not be someone else's best experience at Brite. I only could tell you from what I know from the companies I've been with, for the people I had to deal with. So far, this has been the best company that I've been with, and this is where I plan on retiring from. This is my last stop right here.
Let's talk about like truck driver lifestyle. You know, how about like the trucking? You're feeling lonely. You know, you're not happy. Like about job. You know, like this industrial. You know.
The truck driving experience overall is honestly, I don't. And if I want to be 100% honest, I don't like driving trucks. It wasn't
the only reason money, right?
The only reason why is because I had a baby and I was broke and I had to take care of my family. And I didn't have no skills, I didn't have no degree, I didn't go to college. I was able to obtain a CDL, and this is the best way to make money to support my family. If there's no other company jobs, or there's no other regular jobs out here where if you don't got a degree, you could make $1,500, and you know, I could sit up here, I could go back on my phone and show you my checks where I was, as a company driver at Brite Logistics, my checks range from anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500 a week as a company driver. That's what I was making. Owner operator was a lot more, but it's not bad. There is no other job that you can make this type of money at. So for all the people out there, even if you don't have a CDL yet, even if you don't know what company you're trying to go to, sitting home, going job after job, looking for this job, looking for that job, it's just too strenuous. When you got a CDL, The moment you put in for application, jobs call you. You can have a job 1 hour later with a CDL. When you ain't got, when you're just looking for a regular job out there in the real world, it's hard. But with a CDL, you can make it. Starting off, you won't be able to just come to Brite brand new as a driver with a CDL, but just remember, whatever company you go to, just remember Brite is here. So after you reach that 1 year mark, you should definitely reach out to Brite Logistics and, to come and work here.
Nice. So how about you feeling emotional? Like you happy like a person, you know, like working in trucking? You think about some changes in your life? For how long you still doing like this, like trucking, driving, or you want to, like you say, you want to grow your own company, right? But you're saying I'm not gonna be anymore the owner operator, right? So how you will achieve that goal? Because you know you have to, like a company driver, you know, you will make, you will feed your family, right? But how you will grow then?
Growing is all a part about, I guess, saving your money. If you want to save a truck, first you need to have a goal. And the average job, you know, if you come here and you make $1,500 a week, you put away $500 a month for 10 months, you got a down payment for a truck. Maybe you need a little bit more, maybe you need a little bit less.
Buying a truck from the payment, so you was leasing, bro?
I had payments.
Oh, you had the payment. How much is your payment? It was?
My payments was $1,231.
The truck it was, and how much down you put it?
It was 2010. I put down $6,700.
Okay, and the truck it was
2010 Volvo 730.
So that's another thing, you know. I think because you bought a truck, you know, which is like 2010. Which year it was?
2010. I bought it this year.
Oh, this year, so you see, so old truck, you know, so it's bunch of bullshit. You know, you will buy this truck, but it, you know, you need a good score, you know, a down payment, you know, and the thing is, it will be the payment maybe around $3,500, but then you will forget the maintenance, you know what I'm saying? And then you have like 2010, so you know, it's bunch of bullshit.
With brand new trucks, he's right. Most of the time they got 350,000 mile warranties on them. That's going to cover almost everything except for the tires. So all the maintenance is pretty much covered. The one thing I looked at when I bought the used truck was I was just basically thinking cheaper payment, quicker to pay off. I didn't think about none of the long run problems. I bought a warranty, but that was a whole nother thing with the warranty. And one thing I can say is, if you're going to buy a used truck or a brand new truck, make sure you read over everything, your warranty, your contract. Take the time to read over it. I was in a rush and I didn't read over a lot of stuff, and that's where I messed up at. I was in a rush. Just go somewhere. It's better to get a truck from the company you actually working for too. Because when problems arise and things happen, they're going to be more inclined to help you with it, because if something happens with your business, it affects their livelihood as well. So they're going to be more than willing to help you with it, to help you to get through whatever problems you got. It's been a lot of things that Brite's paid for. As an owner-operator, that they didn't have to. Tolls. They gave me plates and let me pay back over time. That's things that a lot of companies won't do for you if you're an owner-operator. Everything is on you. They helped me out a lot with plates. It's like, I can't really say anything bad at all. You know, I got a lot of stuff to say bad with Swift. Swift was a bad company because when you're on the operator, the way it works is you deal with brokers, you deal with your driver leader. Here at Brite, your driver leader finds you a load to choose from, but you're not obligated to take that load. You tell them what you want to make off the load. If you and your driver leader can't agree with a rate with a broker, you don't take the load. You don't have to accept any load. You can go wherever you want as an operator. You could, even as a company driver, if when you want to go home, you're not forced to stay out on the road. You can go home when you want. You can work when you want. It's up to you how much money you want to make. And it's the same thing as on the operator. Out here, it's ups and downs. Truck driving is like, you know, it's lonely out here. You're gonna have days where you happy and everything is good when you're driving, and you're gonna have days where you wake up where you like, damn, I don't even want to do this no more. I wish I was home with my family. That's just the reality of it. But when you out here, man or woman, when you got responsibilities, sometimes some stuff you gotta suck up. And sometimes you gotta go out here, burn yourself out a little bit, stay out for 4 weeks, and then go home and relax for a week, and then come back out on the road. You gotta, it's all about, everybody is not strong enough to do trucking, and that's just the reality of it. It won't work out for everybody. Some people go through the whole process, a 3, 4, 5 month process, get in the truck, and the second day they by themselves, they can't do it. They go back home. They wasted 5 months of their life. It's up to you, and you really not gonna know until you're in the truck. I didn't think I was gonna do this. I was born and raised in West Philadelphia. Before trucking, I worked at Family Dollar. My checks was $107 a week. I went from there to here, where
big
is a whole lot bigger. You're making a whole lot more money. Everything will get better for you. If you out there and you don't know what you want to do with your life, and you don't have no goals, and you don't know how far you're gonna make it, you got a family to feed, you on the wrong side of the law, you could be selling drugs or stealing credit cards or anything. Change your life. Go get your CDL. Come to trucking. After a year, come to Brite. It'll change your life. It'll change your future. It'll be the best move you ever made. I know for me, it was the best move I ever made. I was born in Philadelphia, where a lot of people don't even make it to my age. 10 years younger than me, they didn't even make it to that age. So that's just the way it goes. So, you know, if you're able to change your life, if you could do something, if you want to do something, but you don't know what to do, if you just want to get out of whatever situation you in, and you don't know where to go, you don't know where to turn, no job is hiring. Truck driving is always hiring. There's always a shortage of truck drivers. They always going to need truck drivers. So that's, whoever's out there, if you're watching this video, you should really look into truck driving. If you're already a driver and you're looking for a company, a home, you should look into Brite Logistics.
But you're saying like it's the good thing to buy a truck from the company where you work, right? But the thing is probably, you know, it's so much of bullshit, you know, like in the trucking companies who's stealing a profit from the owner operators. They took a load for $2.50, but they're saying you $2, you know. And when you're buying a truck from the company where you work, right, you're giving them like $10,000, $5,000 for the down payment, okay? And everything is on them. So they got your balls, you know what I'm talking about? They can do it. That they can take a load for $2, say $2.50, or what you can do, you know, it just don't work. Then you lost your monthly payments, you're losing your down payments, you know, everything like that. So that's what I'm saying, that the thing is you have to have a right company too for that if you want to buy from that company truck, because, you know, it's a bunch of bullshit, you know. I believe the companies who have not so many trucks, like from 1 to 50, I believe they do that, but when the company grows till 100, 200 trucks, I think they start to be more professional, you know. They already have the money, they already, you know, good. So I believe they're trying to build a brand, build a company, you know. And when the companies have 1, 10 trucks, okay, so I believe for them it's each penny so important, you know, because they got the bills, payments, claims, you know, and they just not stealing because the bad people they are, but I think because they need those money, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, one thing I realized too is the reason why I said it's better to lease a company, and I'm not saying that go to Swift, lease a truck through them because it's through their company. You gotta know the difference between owner-operator and a lease operator. With most of these jobs, and this is just by experience at Swift, it was where you get a load as an owner-operator. After you done already leased a truck through them, you get paid 65% of the load. The company wouldn't even tell you what you was getting paid off the load. If you worked in the Northeast Harrisburg terminal out of Swift, you would know that you got paid 65% of the load. They would not tell you what you got paid off the load. Sometimes the load would change. You would run a load, the same exact load. It'll be going from Danger Warehouse to Hat Warehouse, just making it up, and the load is paying $700. It's 400 miles. You run it, you get paid $700. You see it on your check. The very next week, you could run that same exact load 2 days later, and they tell you that the load is paying $400, and you wonder where the difference went at. Is because with a lot of these lease owner jobs and lease operator jobs, when they working in there, they got brokers, large companies like Swift, Snyder, CR England, all those companies, they have their own brokers. They don't need to call a broker to get a load. They have their own brokers who call the customers for the load. Once that customer gets the load, that load then goes to the CSR. That CSR puts it on the board and you choose from it. But from the time it got to that broker, they are taking the broker's fee, the company. So if you're working for Swift, Swift is going to take their own broker's fee. Then they're going to take another 35% of your load, and then they're going to give you the other 65%. The problem is you never know what the load actually paid, so they can rob you the whole time. One thing I like about Brite working here that I did notice right away is my driver leader, you're on the phone with the broker the whole time. When she's calling the broker, you're on the phone with them. There's no way that they could hide the price of what the load is paying because you hear it right there. You get paid 80%. You know exactly what your load is paying because you negotiated your own rate. Your driver leader will not sign off on any load without you agreeing for it first. So you're going to know exactly what your load pays. You even going to hear the broker on the phone negotiating the rate. So you're negotiating the rate with the broker. There's no way that they can take money from you or skim off the top of the load or give you less than what the load actually paid because you hear all the details right then and there.
How much gross you did with the Brite?
With Brite, as a company driver, my first year.
Gross, yeah. How many miles and gross?
Miles, I'm not sure exactly what the miles was, but I know my first 11 months with Brite, I grossed upwards of almost $80,000.
Nice, nice, amazing.
Take
so
home.
Average per mile it was like 250, something like that, or more?
Per mile?
Yeah, average.
No, I was making 48 cents a mile.
Oh, like a driver, I mean, you're talking about, but like the owner operator.
Oh, as an owner operator, again, I wasn't really in it to, once I became an owner operator, it was more as to be able to stay home more, you know, just to be able to stay home more. So as an owner operator, it was days where some days I might come out and I run 2 days. I take a load down, 300 miles, come back, 300 miles. After all my expenses, I would take home $2,200, $2,500, working 2 days. If I worked a full week of working, the load take home pay would be around $3,400, $3,700. It could vary. You know, the market is up and down, so you know the loads can vary. But as an owner operator here, if you working every week, you would never take home a check less than, and it's probably like on your worst week out here, everything can go wrong out here, and you still probably make like $2,700, $2,800, and that's if everything went wrong. On your best weeks out here is $4,000. I know people that work at Brite, they probably work a little bit harder than me, and they brought home checks that was $7,000 after all the expenses.
How about what do you think about the drivers union? Do you think the truck drivers need a union? Because I'm about to create the drivers union.
If truck drivers had a union, I think it'd be a whole lot better out here because like companies can hire you, fire you, almost do whatever they want. And
so that's what I'm trying to do right now. You know, I'm trying to create the drivers union when they, you know, we become like, you know, like 100 people, you know, at least 100 people. So then we can come to the company like a union, right? 100, we have a leader, right? We have a driver, and the leader comes to the company and say, look, 100 of us, okay? We're not just one right now, it's 100, okay? So we would like to get the better pays. We would like to lower those fees, you know, those charges, everything like this. We want to get the better pay. We want to get the better pace, and then plus, you know, I believe the union can charge a company for drivers, and they can union charge the drivers, okay, for this union's fee, okay, and driver paying and the company paying, and it's becoming a lot of money, okay, and then from those money you can do so many benefits, you know, send every month you're getting, you're charging every month the driver, every month a company from each driver, and then you know you can, you know, it's let's say 100 drivers, so you take for each driver like 200 from a company, 200 a month from a driver, and it's like a month, you know, it's like a 50,000 already become the income, the union. So you can do, you know, send some drivers on vacation, just send the drivers like $1,000, you know, some months want, you know, go on vacation, go chill, man, enjoy. Then you can do, you know, like $10,000 every month for a state troopers, okay? So you have like union logo on your truck and you supporting all the state troopers, okay, around the United States. And when they pulling you over, okay,
a lot more.
So they see the logo and they know you supporting them, okay? So I believe they, you know, will build a little bit nicely, you know?
No, a union is definitely the best way to go. The fastest way to get a pay rate, not even just say here at Brite, if drivers wanted to get a pay rate, it's kind of hard to get all the drivers on the same page because sometimes you got drivers doing better than other drivers. So that driver that's doing better might be, he might not be willing to join that union. He might not want to mess up what he got going on by himself because he's not worried about the other drivers. But if you worry about other drivers, if everybody cared about themselves, we wouldn't get nowhere. If everybody worried about each other, we would get far. With a union, if we did have a union, it's a lot easier to negotiate rates. If you're getting paid 30 cents a mile, everybody's getting paid 30 cents a mile. That's what the company's paying. They're not going to change it for one person. You come in and you say, I got 20 years experience. I'm not changing 30 cents a mile. They don't need you. You can leave and they'll bring somebody else in. But when all the drivers in the company is saying, we're not taking 30 cents a mile. From now on, we want 50 cents a mile, or we want 55 cents a mile. Whatever they're saying is, the company has no choice but to, a trucking company is not a company without drivers. If you don't got drivers, you don't got a trucking company. If the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. They could have 50,000 brand new 2040 trucks. They don't even got to come out yet. They could have 2040 trucks. They could have planes. If they don't got nobody to drive them, the company makes $0. So that's the benefits of having a union. When I was at Swift, if you try to join a union at Swift, you would be fired.
Oh, really?
They will fire you right there on the spot. If you try to rally up other drivers to do what you want, or to be on the same page. If I walked around the terminal, I said, ain't you tired of making 30 cents a mile? Come over here. We gonna go do this, and we gonna talk to the driver manager, and we gonna negotiate a better rate. They will fire you. A union is best done like if you starting up a union in secret. But one thing about a union,
that's what I'm doing, man.
Started in secret. But if you do got a union, you'll make it a whole lot further. Everybody's gonna be on the negotiation. Everything will be, it's more planned. You got somebody behind you. When you wanna go do something, it's a whole lot, it's like a class action lawsuit. When you got a suit against a company by yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna lose. If you got 200 people saying that all the same thing, you're gonna win. It's the majority. If you got a union, a lot more things to get done. A union would be a good job.
Joining to my union because
I sign it right now. If you got a union, I don't mind signing up.
Amazing. So, you know, like, I mean, like, thanks a lot. I think we spoke like for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. They also got a company car here too. So you come here and you need to get around. I know most companies don't got it. You got to call, order food. You want to go around or do something, they also got a company car. Did you show them the driver's lounge already? Not yet.
Really, I've never ever in the history of any company went to a terminal where they had rooms like hotel rooms that you could sleep in. Pool table. Every time I come here, it's something new. Every time. Last night, I couldn't get into the terminal for like an hour because they got a gate now.
But that's an hour right now. That's not the best. But then you make sure the truck is safely. You can sleep good right there.
You can sleep good. You know, you can. At some terminals, you know, when you out there on the road, it's gonna be days where you gotta pull over on the side of the road, and you gotta sleep. But you gotta sleep light because you don't know what's gonna happen. Somebody might try to break in your truck. A truck might run into anything can happen. Here, you got a terminal. They got clean rooms, towel, showers, free washing machines, free dryers. Any other company they charge you for, they got free washing machine, free dryers, they got snacks, they got waters. They do a company barbecue every year. They got contests. They give you $500 for a driver referral. They got a lot of benefits here. There's a lot of benefits. One thing about here too is, I'm not sure when I was here before, and I don't want to give out the wrong information, but they was going through a lot of trucks through Brite with a maintenance program where if something goes wrong with your truck, a lot of drivers, you get layover pay. Layover pay is like $50 a day at most companies. It's almost nothing. You'd be better off sitting home for the $50. Here, one time I was in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a funny story. Nashville, Tennessee. I was on a FedEx load. I started driving. Maybe 30 minutes later, my truck broke down. I didn't know what to do. I was on a load. I really needed to get paid for that load that week. I called Alex at Brite. It was around maybe 12 o'clock midnight. They called. I swear to God, 3 hours later, a truck got towed into me. They told me a new truck to drive. I was out of there 3 hours later. They brought me a truck here. It's like you're not sitting around, you're not waiting. Brite, one thing about Brite likes money. They're about money. And because they're about money, they want you to make money, because without you making money, they won't make money. And that's just as simple as that. You can go to any other company, you could try it out, you can go to a million different companies, and it might work out for you. But one thing I know for me, I've been to a lot of companies, and this is right here, this is the last stop right here for me.